Something or someone has been triggering our security lights on the side of our house at night. But despite my best efforts to catch whoever or whatever it is in the act, I was always too late to see what it was. In the time it took me to get off my butt when the floodlight came on so I could peer out of my window, the area was empty. Our house already has a network of security cameras courtesy of Hikvision and Google Nest devices, plus a Wyze Cam V3. Unfortunately, none of them were in a suitable location to monitor the side of the house due to a lack of convenient power connections. The Wasserstein 3-in-1 floodlights turned out to be the perfect add-on for my Wyze Cam V3. In this video, I run through the features, installation and performance of the floodlights in my quest to solve the mystery of the unseen visitor. I've been a long-time fan and user of Wyze camera products for a while now. Their versatility and low cost make them ideal for smart home and home security enthusiasts. Most recently, I was delighted to take a look at the Wasserstein's camera mounts to use for a personal project for my now deceased pet dog, Cece. Their camera mount for the Wyze Cam V3 helped us manage the last months of her life, so she was more comfortable. For this video, Wasserstein sent me their very intriguing 3-in-1 floodlight which is compatible with Wyze Cam V3. It's the perfect upgrade to our old floodlight that was already installed on the side of our house, not least because we have an ongoing mystery that I wanted to solve. During the night, sometimes our floodlight would turn on, triggered by the motion sensor. When I was awake, I'd often be in the family room or kitchen on that side of the house, and the light would catch my eye. However, every time I tried to investigate, the passageway that leads to the backyard was empty. Now, with the Wasserstein 3-in-1 floodlight, I had the perfect tool to get to the bottom of the mystery using my trusty Wyze Cam V3. The first thing I noticed unboxing the 3-in-1 floodlight is the weight of the unit. The floodlight is quite hefty, which gives you the impression it's going to be very durable. To power the Wyze Cam V3, there's a USB port and a supplied short micro USB cable as an even tidier alternative to the original one that comes with the Wyze Cam V3. As a device that's going to be exposed to the elements, it features the necessary protection. The 3-in-1 floodlight, USB socket, micro USB cable and mount are all IP65 waterproof rated. The port is covered with rubberized material that makes the connection quite watertight once everything is connected. The USB port is also oriented down so to minimize the chance of water collecting inside the port, and instead runs down and away from the power connection thanks to gravity. Also included in the box is an EVA or ethylene vinyl acetate gasket backplate. This foam cutout creates a watertight seal when the floodlight is screwed tightly against the side of your house, stopping the water from entering your siding through the outlet box. The floodlight also comes with a 1/4-inch attachment for the included base mount for the Wyze Cam. It's designed to fit the original Wyze Cam V3 articulated mount to enable you to adjust the angle of the camera. At the front of the housing is the motion sensor which triggers the lights. The official documentation for the floodlight says that it's sensitive up to 33 feet from its location. The first thing to note when it comes to buying the floodlight is that it requires being hardwired to your home's power supply to operate. There isn't an option to use an exterior power socket. You'll need to run your house wiring to the location you want to install the floodlight. If you have some experience in home DIY, then the installation shouldn't be too difficult for you. However, for anyone who isn't comfortable with DIY electrical work, I'd recommend hiring a professional. An electrician is definitely recommended if you don't already have a pre-existing place to install the floodlight with the necessary power outlet and a suitable flat surface pre-installed. For those that are more familiar with electrical installations, the Wasserstein floodlight comes with very detailed and clear instructions to wire the device. Plus, the wiring itself is clearly labelled for your convenience. On my home, I already had an old floodlight installed in the location I wanted, so it was just a case of removing it and replacing with the Wasserstein version using included instructions. The most important steps before attempting the installation was to turn off the power at the circuit breaker panel and invest in a voltage tester. You can pick up a voltage tester for as little as a few dollars at any good hardware store. This device tests for an electrical field to let you know if a wire has a current passing through it, and depending on the model will beep and light up when a current is detected. The tester should be the difference between a safe installation or receiving a nasty shock. Safety precautions taken, the first step was to remove the crossbar for the old floodlight and affix the new one that comes with the Wasserstein floodlight. On the crossbar there's a screw attachment for a ground wire if your home's wiring doesn't already include one. You can connect the floodlight to the ground wire here as an extra safety precaution. My house wiring already includes a ground wire, so I fed all 3 wires from the house through the rectangular hole in the gasket and then poked the screw stem of the crossbar through the centre hole in the gasket itself. That done, the hardest part of the installation is identifying the correct wires to connect and use the included wire nuts. On the floodlight, the live, neutral and ground wires are labelled, and it's just a case of matching the same wires to your house wiring. For my house, the live and neutral wires were easy to match as they are black and white. However, my ground is a bare copper wire but by a process of elimination you can't get the last connection wrong if it's anything like my setup. Then strip off the conveniently pre-cut plastic on the floodlight wires and insert the corresponding pairs of wires from the floodlight to your home into each wire nut and then twist until tight. This step requires a bit of careful juggling of the floodlight while you get the first wire attached, but once securely connected via the first wire, you'll be able to tie off the remaining 2 wires without fear of dropping the light. One final safety check is to make sure there's no exposed wire on your live or neutral wires outside of the wire nuts to avoid shorts. You shouldn't be able to see any metal of the wires at all, which is especially important before you feed them back into the cavity behind the gasket and into the outlet box. The wires will be in close proximity and it's a significant hazard if they are not properly insulated from each other. The final step of the installation is to thread the floodlight over the main screw of the crossbar and then using the screw cap to fix the floodlight tight to the siding. The final touch is a little rubber stopper to cover the screw cap hole. Then you're ready to attach the base plate bracket to attach the Wyze Cam V3. The bracket can be attached either right side up or upside down. In the upside down configuration you have more articulation on how far the camera can twist. This is a better setup for when you have to turn the camera left or right for better lower viewing angles. If you mount the camera upside down, in the app you can go to advanced settings and flip the video feed 180 degrees, which is a nice touch by Wyze. As a side note, the base plate is designed to enable you to apply a bit of pressure and pop the camera base into the bracket and it will clip in. Finally, the last step is to connect the supplied micro USB cable. There's actually quite a bit of excess cable, so some cable management is required to tidy up. Now you're ready to turn on the power again at the breaker, test your Wyze Cam and wait until night time to test the motion sensor. The light is bright and the motion sensor works as described by Wasserstein. In testing, the light bathes the area around the side of our house in bright white light for some meters in either direction, which is perfect for our security purposes. The LED bulbs are rated at 2000 lumens. While the Wyze Cam is capable of some great night vision performance, for security the floodlights increase the level of detail you'll get from the cameras over just the infrared light. As well as being a deterrent, the lights should provide more than enough illumination to enable identifying any potential burglars. Now with the floodlight and the Wyze Cam set up, it was time to try and catch out our mysterious nighttime visitor on camera. And it didn't take long. The first night was uneventful, the camera didn't pick up any movement. I checked the playback manually because I didn't even receive a notification about any kind of motion. However, the subsequent night revealed not 1 but 2 regular visitors to our backyard. It would seem that we're the host of a gaze of raccoons. Hopefully to be a nursery if our local raccoons start breeding, as it's springtime at the time of this video. The less exciting visitor is one of our neighbourhood cats. While less remarkable, the fact that the cat, like the raccoons, uses our side alleyway as a thoroughfare is quite entertaining. We should probably come up with a road name and a sign just for fun. Overall, I'm really pleased with the floodlight and the ability to safely and securely attach my hard-working Wyze Cam V3. The lights are bright and the motion sensor is good enough to catch wildlife using our house as a shortcut to the garden. I'd be keen to get a second one for the other side of the house too in the future, if only to find out what kind of animals are frequenting that side too. Thanks for watching, and as always, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content on the connected home and personal technology.